Blessings again, dear friends. Jesus never said, go and make Christians. He said, go and make disciples. I became aware of that, and so from now on, when people ask me of which religion I am, or I'm not going to say I'm a Christian anymore, I'm going to say I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ, because many can claim to be a Christian. The Catholics, the Orthodox, the Mormons, the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Mennonites, the Seventh-day Adventists, the Calvinists. They all consider themselves to be Christians, but they're not true disciples. There's a big difference. And Jesus was very specific about that. He established conditions to being his disciples. For instance, in John 8, verses 31 to 32, he tells them, here he's speaking to the Jews who had believed in him. If you continue in my word, then you are truly disciples of mine. And you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. You see? So we have to continue in his word every day. Every day we must abide by his word. This is one part of being his disciple. Okay? Then in John 15, verses 12 to 14, he says, this is my commandment, that you love one another just as I have loved you. A true disciple of Christ will love his other brothers and sisters as Jesus loved them. How did Jesus love them? By dying for them. He doesn't expect us to die on the cross, physically, to die, but the death that he expects of us is to deny ourselves with our brothers and sisters, to give of ourselves to one another. That's what he meant. In verse 13, he continues to say, greater love has no one than this, that one lay down his life for his friends. You see? When you lay down your life, it means you don't want to be right about something. Even though you might be right, you don't argue about it. You submit, you lay down your life. Okay, I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to fight. I want us to love one another as Jesus loved us. Can we do that? Can we honor this requirement that he made of us? You are my friends if you do what I command. So if we don't do what Jesus commanded us to do, are we true disciples? I don't think so. And I see it all around me. How superficial some brethren are in their Christianity. They think because they, they repented once and they asked Jesus to come into their hearts, or they were led into a prayer by some kind of pastor. They were called in front at the altar to accept Jesus, that's it, they're born again and they were baptized. It takes a lot more than that to really be a disciple, my friends. You have to walk the walk and talk the talk. It's not doing all these things and continue to live in sin, continue to lie, to be jealous, to get angry, it's a daily repentance. In another passage here in Luke 14:26-33, he says, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, yes, and even his own life, he cannot be my disciple." It can't be clearer than that. In other words, when he says hate, it doesn't mean hate to the point where you want to kill somebody. No. He means that no one in your life must be greater than him. You mustn't love anyone more than God. No one. Not even yourself. Especially not yourself. In other words, also, if your family, whether it's your parents, if you're married, your spouse, or your children, or anyone close to you tries to prevent you from following Jesus, who manipulates you emotionally and saying, well, if you truly loved me, you would let me do this, or you would let me do that, or no. It is because I love you that I will not accept that you do certain things, nor will I compromise my faith to please you. If you invite me to a place that is unrighteous, I will not go. If you want me to drink alcohol with you to celebrate whatever it is, I cannot. Because Jesus is more important. For me to obey Jesus, not you. Get offended, get upset, call me whatever names you want to call me, shut the door in my face. I will not deny my Lord for you. Nor will I participate in another religion, another religion's tradition, like Christmas, in order to please you. Oh, but it's just a family gathering. Well, then gather on another day. Why do you want to gather on the 25th of December? Which is a total lie. Anyway, I'm not going to open that door. Verse 27. Whoever does not carry his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. That's a second condition. What does it mean to carry our own cross? It means if you cannot deny yourself daily, you can't follow Jesus either. If you want to live your way, Jesus is asking you to renounce your way, to die to your ways. That's what the new birth is all about. But if you hang on to your ways, then how can you be born again? You can't. It requires dying to self. Dying to the desires you had, the dreams you had, the opinions you had, and let God put His desires, His dreams for you, His purpose, what He has already predestined to be true in your life from even before you were in your mother's womb. This is denying self. Recognizing that I am not in control of anything. My life is not my own. I'm not keeping myself alive. Even if I am the best vegan, I have a perfect diet, I exercise, I take supplements, and I think that I'm keeping myself healthy, and I do everything. You're not keeping yourself alive. God is. God is. And at any moment He can decide, okay, you're checking out, that's it. Does it mean we don't have to take care of our body and eat? No, of course not. We want to give our body the best possible chances to remain healthy and not eat junk food, not smoke, not drink, not do anything that's going to harm our body. But ultimately, we have to know that it is by the grace of God and mercy that we're still alive, and that we don't deserve His mercy. If anything, we deserve to go to hell. But it's because of His mercy that we're still around. Okay? Verse 28 says, "For which one of you, when he wants to build a tower, does not first sit down and calculate the cost to see if he has enough to complete it?" What did he mean by that? Otherwise, when he has laid a foundation and is not able to finish, all who observe it begin to ridicule him, saying, "This man began to build and was not able to finish." Right? Or what king, when he sets out to meet another king in battle, will not first sit down and consider whether he is strong enough with 10,000 men to encounter the one coming against him with 20,000? Or else, while the other is still far away, he sends a delegation and asks for terms of peace. So then, none of you can be my disciple who does not give up all his own possessions. One has to count the cost. What is it going to cost me to follow Jesus? Am I able to take that challenge, to renounce so many things in my life for Him. That's why many new converts, I don't want to call them disciples, they're just converts, are not told these things. They're not instructed, they're not informed. This is what it's going to take you to become a disciple of Jesus. Do you still want to accept Christ after knowing all this? Probably many of them will say, oh no, it's too much. I can't do that. I'm happy the way I am. Drinking, partying, buying whatever I want, having sex with whoever I want, whenever I want. It's fun. Why should I give all that up? Well, then go. You can't be a disciple of Jesus under those conditions. You got to count the cost. And when he says here, none of you can be my disciple who does not give up all his possessions, he doesn't mean that we have to give everything away to the poor. No, but it means I will not possess things that are given to me, knowing that nothing is mine. We need shelter, a roof to live under. We need clothes, we need food on the table, we need a job, we need to provide for ourselves because we don't want to be dependent on anybody. We don't want to be a burden on society either. But I don't possess anything. I just hold it like this, knowing that God can take it away anytime. It's not mine. He's lending it to me. He's allowing me to have everything that I need to stand on in this world, but it's not mine. Okay? And this is why the rich young ruler could not follow Jesus, because he wasn't willing to give up his possessions. So my friends, after listening to this, are you still going to call yourself a Christian? Or are you going to say, I'm a true disciple of Jesus because nothing is more important in my life? Not my job, not my family, not even my own life. I want to love him. I want him to say to me, this is my beloved son, this is my beloved daughter in whom I'm well pleased. Living for him, to glorify his name. Living so that he can work through us and make us a blessing unto others. Not because we expect to be rewarded in heaven. Then you're doing business with God. We have no right to ask him for anything except to make us more like Jesus, to help us increase our faith, increase our love for one another. Our desires, in other words, have to meet God's desires. They have to be one and the same. What does my Father want to do in me? He wants to conform me to the image of Jesus. I have to go along with that and not desire something else that is not in God's will. Otherwise, it's not going to work. God is not going to give it to me. Or if He sees that I don't submit to Him wanting to conform me to the image of Christ, He's going to say, okay, go. You can't then be my disciple. The path is very narrow, my friends. Very few will find it. This is what Jesus talked about. It's a very, very narrow way. So decide. Christian only or true disciple?